This is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley, coming at you from the D2, D3 JV State Championships at Co-Brown Northwood Academy. This year's meet hub's brought to you by Bees Tees.
So in this race on the team side, it's looking like it's gonna be between Souhegan, Co-Brown, Oyster River, or Hanover. This is the girls' race, the first of two. The boys will follow closely afterwards. Pretty good weather for running today. It's a little bit windy, but it's about mid-50s, cloudy and breezy, so should see some fast times from these girls.
Wind might affect the times a little bit though, but...
Yeah, although most of this course is in the woods, so the wind may be cut by the trees. We'll have to see. So the starter just going down the line right now and giving each team the instructions, and then he will head out to the flag and start the race. Jamie, can you give us some advice on how you think the best way to run this course is?
Well, the first mile always goes out pretty hard, so just kind of stay where you want to be and just take it through the last 2 miles.
That's some good advice. It is a hilly course, so you don't want to go too hard in the first mile.
Yeah, second mile is a very hard mile.
Alright, starter is out in the field. Flag is raised. And we're off in the D2, D3 Girls State Championships here at Co-Brown Northwood Academy.
Pretty strong start by Co-Brown girls.
Yeah, Co-Brown going right to the front, as well as Oyster River. They're converging together. I'm just, I think those Co-Brown girls might have to settle in. They went out very strong, but at least they'll have good positioning for this next mile.
And here we are at the 1 mile mark. We have Mary Joy leading, coming through at just about 16:15. And behind her we have Miranda Compton, also of Co-Brown, coming through at just under 6:30. And here we have a pack of Souhegan, Oyster River, and another Co-Brown's third, and then a Hopkinton. So as of right now, it looks like Co-Brown is definitely in the lead, with Oyster River closely behind them. There's Co-Brown's fourth, and then a pack of Oyster River, and another Oyster River, and a few Souhegan, and here's the rest of Co-Brown. So it's definitely looking like a close race. Right about now, we're at about closing up on the 7-minute mark for the first mile, and yeah. So as of right now, it looks as though Co-Brown has those top few spots. However, there's a few tiny packs of 2 Oyster Rivers kind of scurried throughout, and then we have a pack, an additional pack of Souhegan, and yeah, so it's definitely looking like it's going to be a good team race today. Hanover also had a pack. Those three or 4 teams are usually always kind of fighting for the title every year anyways, so it's a great tradition.
You know, this is only the 1 mile. A lot of things can change, but
yeah,
this is going to be a good race today.
Yeah, and we're now approaching the 8-minute mark for the mile at about 7:55 right now, so yeah. Yeah, the first mile of this course I would say is probably pretty quick, just because it's not that steep of an uphill, and then you got this nice steep downhill approaching the mile mark, so yeah. Would you agree, Abigail?
Yeah. You know, really the downhill goes for a little while, but I don't know, it really starts out fast.
Yeah, so.
Alright, we're now about halfway through this race. Co-Brown's number 1 with a pretty big lead over the rest of the field.
Come on, Mary.
Coming around at about 11 minutes.
It's Mary Joy of Co-Brown.
Good job, Mary. Keep it up.
Closely followed by Miranda Compton.
Got about 70 meters on Miranda Compton, also of Co-Brown.
And another Co-Brown trailing really.
So 1 through 3 for Co-Brown. And then Souhegan's first, as well as Oyster River's first. So Co-Brown with a strong lead halfway through this race. Although those low numbers could be countered by a big pack.
Co-Brown has 4, but now Oyster River has 4.
Yeah, there's 4 Oyster Rivers running
Oyster
pretty
River
close
has 5
together,
right
so that's
now.
a good pack for them.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. And there's Co-Brown's 5th.
So yeah,
has 3 in.
Co-Brown's 5th is going to be fighting with Oyster River's 6-7. Could displace and add some more points to Co-Brown's score, so that could make it a little bit closer. So that'll be a fight to watch between Co-Brown's 5 and Oyster River's 5, 6, 7 are all pretty close.
Yeah.
And that could make a difference in this.
Souhegan looks to be a close 3rd place though. I think they have almost 5 in. I think that's their 5th.
Yeah, strong pack up. All these teams have a strong, like 4, 5, 6 right close together. So any of those runners could score for their teams depending on who has a better last mile. We'll have to see. There's still one major hill to go. Probably the biggest hill on the course after the 2-mile mark.
But I mean, single track you can rip, so it's like.
Yeah, you got the big hill, and then in the single track you got quick little downhill to recover, and then you just got to work all the way to the finish line. So
yeah.
See who can grind out the last mile and come out on top. Should be pretty close race in these team scores.
Yeah, it seems to also be for weather-wise that the winds like died down for this race.
Yeah, it's pretty calm.
Right on
Ideal running conditions.
Yep.
So we will catch up with these runners at the 2-mile and see how things have changed.
So here coming up, we're approaching the 2-mile mark, and we have Mary Joy of Co-Brown still leading. She's coming through at about 13:42, so she's looking really strong, has a pretty substantial lead right now. And yeah, her lead's pretty large at this point. So I would say unless she completely crashes, which she most likely won't, she's got the JV state title here.
Next is Miranda Compton, and
she's coming through at about 14:08. So she's also looking strong, and she's closely followed by another Co-Brown. So Co-Brown has 3 runners coming in. Then there's a Hanover and Souhegan and Oyster River's 1st. And here's Oyster River's 2 and 3, and there's Co-Brown's 4. And I believe that is Souhegan's 2nd. So once again, it is still close between Co-Brown, Oyster River, and Souhegan, but I would say the top 2 teams right now fighting for it would be Co-Brown and Oyster River. So yeah.
I mean, this is really going to be like a tight race, I guess. I mean, Co-Brown has the first few spots, but anything can happen. It's still the 2-mile,
Yeah. And the last mile of this course can either be pleasant or really, really difficult, kind of depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a nice downhill, and then, I mean, not a crazy uphill, but it's still a pretty decent uphill. And then you got the downhill on the single track, which is kind of fun, I guess. Yeah. Then you got the flat, and then the uphill to the finish. So it really depends on where you're at and how you run that, I guess. So we're approaching the 15:30 mark at the 2-mile here. So yeah.
This is just really going to be a great race today, So I think the key to this course is really using the downhills,
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to go.
Definitely, because the downhills on this course are not gradual. They're pretty substantial, so I feel like you got to use them to the best that you can.
You just got to let go and just try to go as fast as you can down them.
Yeah, I agree. Not like this course is a lot like Dairyfield, but you kind of got to run it pretty similar to how you would run Dairyfield, just by hitting the downhills as hard as you can, and then just trying to maintain on the uphills, I would say, and trying to rip really hard on the flats is definitely important. So yeah.
Yeah, no. I think one of the most important things is, again, probably maintaining on the uphills, because you can really.
Yep. Yeah. So we're approaching 16:35 right now at the 2-mile. So Yeah. So the top runners are probably approaching the single track and getting ready to rip down that, I guess.
Yeah.
You're now at the finish line. This is Mary Joy of Co-Brown. She had a pretty big lead early on the race.
See how much she expanded on it.
Looking like it. All alone out in front.
On the track.
So that's a good 1 point for Co-Brown. Solid start.
Across the line unofficially at 21:45.
So 21:45 for the winner.
Come on, Miranda!
It's Co-Brown's number 2, Miranda Compton. And Hanover's first has split Co-Brown's 2 and 3. That's 22:10 for this group. So that's Co-Brown's 3.
Co-Brown's 4th, right?
Co-Brown's 4th, and Oyster River's 1st, right behind her.
Keep going.
Nice work. Great job. Great job.
So,
Hands up.
Good job.
although here is a
Nice work.
big Oyster River pack,
Oyster River 2nd and Oyster River 3rd.
and we can see Oyster River's 4th coming in as well.
Souhegan's 1st. Oyster River's 4th, right about to cross the line.
Hands up.
2 more Souhegans, so that's 3 for them.
Nice job. Nice job. You okay?
2 more Oyster River.
Portsmouth's 1st.
So that's 5 and 6 for Oyster River, so they will displace Co-Brown's 5th. That
Not far behind though.
So that Oyster River 6 will not score, but it will add to Co-Brown's score. Although I don't think it will be enough, because Co-Brown had some pretty low numbers out front.
They had 1, 2, 4, and
But that's 2 teams with their top 5 in, Oyster River and Co-Brown. And then I believe this should be Souhegan's 5th.
yes.
So that looks to be your top 3 teams at this point,
Yep.
which was expected. And Hanover most likely coming in 4th.
Great job.
Portsmouth close to Hanover though.
Yeah, quite a few Portsmouth girls mixed in as well, like you said. So pretty strong showing from these top 2 teams. Oyster River and Co-Brown really filling out the front, with not too many other teams giving them a real challenge.
Great job.
Oh, great job. You okay?
Keep going. Keep going. Good job.
So unofficially,
Keep going, Hannah.
your JV girls D2, D3 state champion is Mary Joy of Co-Brown. They 21:45. And then Co-Brown should be the team champion.
But it is a pretty close race for that team champion because of their big pack.
Yeah, Oyster River running very well as a pack. You know, basically they're 1 through 6 or 7 probably only had a pack time of around a minute maybe.
They were all very close. But Co-Brown did have those 4 front runners.
Yep, those low numbers make a big difference.
That's it.
Great job.
Great job, Oyster River. Hard job, Conville.
is chilly. A bit windy out here on the track.
Yeah, the wind has picked up from where we were at the...
Yeah, it was actually calmed down for most of the race, but out here on the track it's pretty windy, and it is going right head first into this finishing straightaway. So, as if these girls weren't tired enough at the final straightaway of this race, they are running right into the wind. So they are...
It feels as if the temperature is going down a little bit.
Yeah. Although not too bad for racing.
Yeah.
Not great for spectating.
But still with good racing weather.
But yeah, it's about 53, 54, maybe a little bit colder up here on the hill. Coe-Brown is on top of a hill. Gets a little colder and windier up here than the surrounding area.
Attention, gentlemen.
In the 50s.
Gentlemen, as the girls are finishing up.
Pretty good
Great
racing
job,
weather.
ladies. JV boys, first call. JV boys.
We did see some pretty good times from these girls. So
definitely.
if I was racing, I'd rather have this than the heat. So.
Yep. A lot more easier.
Which you get earlier in the season.
Yeah,
you know, the first couple weeks you get some heat, you know, mid-September, but these meets, once you get towards championship season, are usually a lot cooler. Sometimes too cool, but today was pretty good conditions. So as these last few girls finish up, we see the boys are kind of moving towards the start line, getting ready to do some strides, do some drills, get warmed up. So we'll be covering that race as well. So you should definitely watch that if you've just finished this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Turn on post notifications.
Ring that bell.
As we reach championship season, there are very good races. So
we'll have a lot of coverage of, obviously, all 3 divisional state championships, Meet of Champions, New England's, all on NewHampshireCrossCountry.com.
And just a reminder, our meet hub is Bees Tees.
Yeah, thank you for their support. Couldn't do it without you, so go check them out. Thank you to all of our race volunteers as well. We have a lot of volunteers out here at the finish line, as well as out on the course directing people, helping this meet go smoothly. And many of the same volunteers you will probably see at divisional varsity state championships. So thank you to all volunteers throughout the season and during championship season.
Even though I took my ACL, I got my I'm worried about the wind tonight. I feel like I need some more.
Big group coming in right together here. Gonna have some good races right to the line. That's the nice thing about cross country as a sport. No matter what time you finish in, you're always racing.
Yep.
Right, we're seeing people racing to the line for first, as well as for, you know, like the 100th place, 200th place. I don't know how many people we have in this race, but
pretty big field though.
Yeah, it is pretty big. I think it's towards the upper range of 100. I know the JV boys race has over 200. Huge field.
Good job, nice work. You're all set. You can stop.